My name's James from Bikelockwiki, and today we're taking a look at the Seatylock Mason, Seatylock's highest security D-lock. First up for security, the Seatylock Mason earned the Sold Secure Diamond rating, which not many bike locks have achieved yet, so it's part of quite an exclusive club. The Diamond rating means that the Seatylock Mason is capable of preventing the highest motivated attacks and therefore is suitable for securing your bicycle or even a more expensive e-bike in a high-risk area. Now, not only did the Mason earn the Diamond rating, but it's done it in style. It's actually the lightest Sold Secure Diamond bike lock on the market, and by a very considerable way. I'll explain a little bit more later on in the video on how Seatylock have achieved this, and I'll include the weight and internal locking dimensions of either size of the lock. Next, we're going to take a look at the Shackle the Mason uses. Now, this Shackle is 13.75 millimeters thick and has a triangular shape. 13.75 millimeters isn't quite thick enough to be considered bolt cutter proof, but this will put up a very impressive fight against even the biggest bolt cutters. Now, some of you are probably wondering why Seatylock chose to use a triangular shackle design, and that's an easy answer. Firstly, the triangular design requires less metal to form than a circular bike lock, meaning the Mason is lighter than its competitors. And secondly, the triangle shape means the Mason is 30% stronger and better at repelling twist and bend attacks, which are a common method used by thieves to defeat D-locks. You may have also noticed by now that the Mason's hardened steel shackle is double bolted, so it locks on either side, and this is another feature that the Mason uses to repel a wide range of attacks. Now, moving away from the Mason's shackle, we're going to take a look at the locking mechanism it uses and the security features that this part of the lock provides. First of all, I'm going to remove the hardened outer plastic shell so that we can get a closer look at the internals. Now, after taking the lock to pieces, you might be wondering what this small red part is, but I'll cover more on that later, and we'll move these to one side. Now, upon first inspection, the inner mechanism housing of the Mason looks fairly standard. It uses a 2.5mm hardened steel shell to protect the Mason's internals from heavy impact attacks. On the bottom of the Mason, we have an anti-drilling keyhole, which, as you can imagine, prevents thieves from using drills to gain access to your bike. On the top, as we already covered, there is the double locking feature, which locks either side of the shackle in place. And finally, the reason why the Mason remains so slim and slender is thanks to its dual thickness plates. The dual thickness feature put in place by Seatylock drastically increases the strength of the lock's shell and prevents any cracking if the lock was subject to a range of attacks. Additionally, the Mason is operated by one of 3 Sidewinder or automotive style keys. These keys are used to operate high value items such as cars and other automobiles, and provide a good level of resistance against picking and other similar attacks. Now, that pretty much brings the security features of the Mason to a close, so we're going to move on and take a look at how practical the Mason is to use alongside your bike. Some of you may have realized at the beginning of the video that I've got 2 different sizes of the Mason in front of me here. I've got the Mason 140 and the 180. Now, the only real difference between these 2 sizes is that the 180 offers an increased shackle space, providing more locking options for your bike. The 140 is smaller and more lightweight than the 180, weighing 2.2 pounds compared to the 180, which weighs 2.35 pounds. All of the technical details for either size will be included down in the description below, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested and see which size will work better for you. As I covered earlier, this makes the Mason 140 the lightest Sold Secure Diamond bike lock on the market, making it a great choice for cyclists looking for a combination of portability and top-tier security. Carrying on the bottom of the Mason, we have an automatic keyhole cover. This feature prevents dirt, grime and debris from entering the locking mechanism, ultimately prolonging the life of the lock and providing you with better value for money. Another feature of the Mason that I enjoy is its spring-loaded locking mechanism. Unlike other D-locks, when unlocked, the Mason doesn't fall apart and simply requires a gentle tug to pull the shackle from the locking mechanism. When you're then ready to lock your bike, simply push the shackle back into the mechanism and the springs will engage, making sure that your bike is locked safely and securely every time. Whilst the Mason is so lightweight, you may be wondering how you're going to carry it whilst you're out cycling. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a mounting system as standard. However, Seatylock have produced a universal mounting system which is available separately and works with all of their D-locks. The mounting system allows you to attach the Mason to your bike in a matter of seconds and holds it securely in place whilst you're cycling. Otherwise, if you're not too bothered about the mounting bracket, you can easily slip the Mason into a backpack and you'll hardly realise the extra weight whilst cycling. Now, you'll be pleased to hear that the Mason, compared to other sold secure diamond bike locks, retails at a very competitive price. It's not the cheapest lock in its security category, but it's also definitely not the most expensive. So far, I haven't ran into any real issues with the Mason and have really enjoyed using it to secure my bike. With a bit of basic maintenance, I have no doubt that both of these locks could last you a lifetime, providing great value for money. As I said earlier, I'll include all of the key information for either Mason lock down in the description below, alongside several places where you can purchase both of these locks at affordable prices. So go ahead and check out any of the links down in the description if you're interested. That's all I have for you today, but I really appreciate you stopping by on the channel, and I hope I answered all of your questions to do with the Mason. If I haven't, drop me a comment down in the description below and I'll get back to you with the answers. It would really help me out if you could drop a like on the video, and if you enjoy this sort of content, subscribe to the channel because there's plenty more bicycle security content coming your way. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.